What it stands for to be a member of ICoCA, this is what we can term as the gold standard in the security service providers to give to the market that you are compliant with the highest level of standard. And when it comes to operations in security, one of the key elements is the human rights, observance of the human rights in the course of conducting security operations. That is the main key item. We are the gatekeepers when it comes to upholding human rights to ensure that we are protecting the assets of the customers, and in so doing, we ensure that the liaison between the service provider, the customer, and the public upholds the utmost human rights standards, no violation whatsoever, and ensure that we are not in business not only for profit, but also to sustain our operations. We are very keen in also sustaining the entire operation, and that is why the concept of environmental, social, and governance is coming into play, and that aspect of that social aspect is linked to the human rights violation. We are tracking that. We are reporting any issues that we come across. We are educating, creating awareness, not only to our officers, but all the partners that we are working together, including our customer and the public that is surrounding our operations. In 2018, we began a journey with one of the leading gold mine in Africa and the largest gold mine that they have in Tanzania, called Geita Gold Mine. Geita Gold Mine is one of the largest, and we have a huge contingent of personnel there, almost 700 people deployed in one location. But the location itself is so expansive. It spans almost a width of about 50 kilometers. So you might find operations are too wide to an extent that we may not have people meeting each other in the course of operations. So we have a complex operations there, which it's supposed to uphold also human rights in the course of conducting that. We are only one partner in the provision of the service, because there is an in-house set up operations that is led by the security manager there and his team to supervise the entire operations, and they have their own rapid response team. This is complemented by us with a huge contingent of personnel, which I've said is about 700. And the other layer that they have is the law enforcers, which is the Tanzania police. So they use several police officers posted in different posts, but the line of duty is completely demarcated, and each operator there knows exactly what they are supposed to do. There is another layer which they use the community provided security agents, which they liaise with the community to select people they know they are going to do a good job in terms of the patrolling and managing the relationship between the mine, the service provider they are, the police who are there, and the community. So that linkage also is bring the community together in an area that ideally should have been, giving space for conflict, but because of that, there is the harmony between the mine operations and the communities that surrounds it. We have succeeded a great deal, as also acknowledged by the management team there and also the security manager in terms of the statistics. What we pride ourselves in is in terms of upholding human rights in the course of conducting our operations, something which has brought together the community, the police, and us, and also the mine, and fostering the relationship to the benefit of all. So that is what we bring into the table in terms of operations from the principles that highlighted in ICoCA mandate, and also fostering the membership of ICoCA. The stakeholders, engagement with all the stakeholders, understanding each other. We are not working alone, because security is all encompassing. You can never, succeed if you work alone. So bringing on all the stakeholders, engaging and understanding on how we move together, but preempting and getting information beforehand or what is about to happen, acting on that information, and then following thereafter on the root cause to see that you actually stop it from possible happening in the future. Despite the achievements that we've had in the place, the success stories, we are always looking to improve continuously. So we're looking for gaps. We are doing self-audits to ensure that, if there is need to fill a gap on a particular area, we do that. The key area of concern is continuous training, because as I said, you can prepare people adequately prior to deployment. They do a job, they forget everything because nothing is happening. What we were prepared to handle is not about to happen. Like we are being told now, there is going to be El Nino rains. You are ready, and then you wait 2-3 months, it's not happening, and then you lax, and then you wait, and then El Nino happen, and then you find that you even forgot what you're supposed to do. So that continuous training is it requires budget, it requires also time, because we're walking circle. We really don't have sufficient time to really sit and review quite a number of things. So setting aside, getting a budget for that training, it's something that we really need to also focus on. But we're determined to do so as well, and ensure that all the controls are working in place to continuously self-audit in all the areas, and also risk management. SGA is not working alone. The cooperation, the key stakeholder there is the public security. We fall under the police, Tanzanian police force. There, in terms of the curriculum that we use in training, of course, there is no accepted curriculum across, for private security companies, but we create our own, and we ensure that there are some components that, we get from the instructors from the police, especially the use of force, the prevention of, crime, and the securing of the scene of crime, and the reporting mechanism. If there is an incident, how is the incident supposed to be handled together with the police? So that particular aspect, and especially the human rights component, that particular aspect, police instructors are coming to join us in training our team. And we use the same before deployment and on the refresher training that is continuous. That is really helping us in terms of aligning the team to the standards that is acceptable to all of them. Of course, we borrow quite a lot from ICoCA in terms of the human rights training component, and that is a requirement of ISO 18788 as well. So when incidents happen on the ground, there is always a requirement to report to the police. They do investigation jointly with us as well, and if there is need to take action in terms of law enforcement, then it is the police that are going to help us. We also do background checks. Background checks also is not only criminal checks, but also human rights abuses where they are. So we do get support a lot from the law enforcement, that is the police, to ensure that what was not even reported gets to the fore. So there's quite a lot in the Department of HR about the background checks and vetting. And when we visit somewhere, we use not only the police, but we have the local government agencies which go all to the village level, where we ask, about the track record of the person, but we also follow where the person was working and the real reason why they left, because you find that, people are just discharged from duties, and then there's nobody who writes. You're given a clean certificate of service, and nobody says anything else. So if you go there and find out exactly what really had transpired, is when you can unearth some of the things. We put a clause in the contract that should anything come to the fore that is undesirable about the record, then we retain a right to take action against you, and also revoke this contract of employment at any stage. So compliance is top key, and background checks, full disclosure and commitment to the code of conduct is key, including the past in contact. Our business is not all about money, it's all about the people as well. In the conduct of our operations, we need to sustain and ensure that we respect each and every person who comes to the premises while we are conducting our operations, and we have to conduct ourselves in the utmost behavior that will respect everybody that we come across. So that particular respect is what we are trying to reiterate with all the principles that we are trying to inculcate in them. So we can spend a lot of time explaining, but at the end of the day, use your own judgment. Again, have I respected this person in the manner that is anticipated in all the spirit of the codes of conduct that we have? So that is what we want our officers to self-assess and ensure that they're interpreting it correctly and then applying it on the ground. We feel that being certified member of ICoCA is taking us places.